This is It Was a Thing on TV.
Total Red Man has ever done something like this to me! It's, time!
Ladies and gentlemen, I give you the dregs of humanity!
Minisode 20. Submission number 1737. George Peppard's rant on Password Plus. George Peppard's rant on Password Plus was part of an episode of Password Plus that, at least originally, went unaired.
But it did air when GSN and Buzzer had the rerun rights.
Totally.
Well, we talked about Password in 1975, and Password would come back to TV 4 years later on NBC with Alan Ludden back as host, and it was glorious.
Indeed it was.
Let's make a great game show even greater by making the show have a plus, and the plus being the passwords are going to be passwords to another password.
The password's going to be a password to a password?
Yes.
That's ingenious. You could get 10 good years off of that premise.
Or at least 9 out of 10.
Yeah. Password Plus, 2 years after it was originally canceled, would be rebooted as Super Password.
Because it's password. It's Super Password!
And they've been trying to reboot Password ever since.
Well, let's just hope that it's in good hands with Keke Palmer.
Keke Palmer is America's sweetheart. And Jimmy Fallon is really good as well. I liked him, and that's my jam. That's just me. But let's go back to 1979 and a daytime lineup that was in desperate need of finding its legs. NBC had a really solid daytime lineup in the 70s, anchored by Wheel of Fortune and Hollywood Squares. Hollywood Squares is on its way out. So it would be Wheel of Fortune, Card Sharks, the final season of Hollywood Squares.
You also had High Rollers.
And High Rollers, thank you. Those were the big four, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yeah. So the big 4 game shows on NBC in 79. And then you had Password Plus.
And then you had Password Plus, which was trying to take the best of the original Password and bring it into a new generation. Of course, you have a new generation of game show player with this new network, because I believe this was the first version of Password that was on NBC after spending a lifetime on CBS and then another 4 years on ABC. So, one of the people that was called in to play the game was George Peppard, who at this point, the A-Team wouldn't have been calling for a few years. He would have been doing Banachek as part of the NBC mystery movie rotation. So it was the week of June 11th through the 14th of 1979, where we would have Elaine Joyce and George Peppard play. Now that has always seemed odd, because why would a week have 4 episodes if there was no other holiday or special occasion or breaking news during that week?
Well, Password Plus, didn't they have weird rotation of guests for uneven amount of episodes sometimes? Because I noticed that when I'm looking at the episode guides, and particularly in 81, 82.
Yeah, but this would be a far cry. This would still be a couple of years removed from that. I mean, this would be the first ever case of a 4-day week. And I'm looking at the episode guide at the Mark Goodson fandom page, and I can't see where there's been another week where an episode was just skipped. I mean, every celebrity pairing had 5 episodes.
Oh, well, there must be a reason why.
Except March 11th through the 18th, which had 6. That was Edie McClurg and Gene Rayburn. And also the following week, which had Audrey Landers and Tom Poston.
What? No, Tom. No. Please don't start.
Go in the corner with Susan and Johnny Olson.
Yeah, so according to the notes in the episode guide, there was going to be a Monday show on that week, July 11th through 15th of 1979. But it was shelved by the network because, I could tell you, but Buzzer and GSN has made it a part of their package, and some enterprising sources put it on YouTube. This is why there was not a Monday episode that week.
Listen, I would like to tell you, Alan, that I think this is a wonderful game, and I really enjoy playing it, but...
Here we go.
But the forms we have to sign in order to play that game, I want to discuss with you later in the program. I want the audience to know that there's some terrible things they make us do before we're allowed to play this game.
Would you like to do it now before we go to commercial, just in case?
No, we're going to save it up.
You've got a little complaint to make.
Yes, a big complaint to make. It's about America. It's about America in this program.
George Peppard has a complaint to make about this very program, not the program.
No, not the way it's played. It's the NBC executives, and I hope everybody writes them a letter.
Oh, no. I am absolutely neutral. It's my job you're talking about. All right. No, it really isn't my job.
Let's play the game.
If you've got a complaint,
Let's
you
go
may
to
make it
commercial.
right after this commercial.
Okay.
We'll be right back. Don't go away. You'll hear about the complaint. Okay. Should we move ahead, or do you want to relieve us of the suspense right now?
No, I want to play the game.
All right.
This is not about Goodson-Todman. It's not about password. It's about NBC forums. But I want to play first. We want to win another one, right?
All right, here we go. You wait. Can you wait? All right, we're back. Okay.
Now, wait a minute. Now, wait 1 minute. I think that I should do... Would you like me to complain some more about this?
No. I'd like you to explain your complaint. Don't complain anymore. Just explain.
All right. Well, here's the thing, friends. I think you should know that before we do this program, that is did they make you sign that form too?
I don't know what form you mean.
All right. Well, there's a form that says that you won't cheat, you won't steal, you won't kick your mother, you won't tell anybody, you're not getting any prizes. It goes on and on and on like you were some crook. Well, now, it is really unnecessary in this game. I mean, everybody around this game is paranoid about the truth. They're very careful. And we even have somebody from NBC who watches us. Now, that gets into the police state mentality, and I do not think it's necessary, and I personally resent it, Mr. Silverman and the rest of you. Would you all write him a letter and tell him to stop that?
This is America. Everybody has a right to his opinion. There is, though, this very important fact to remember. When you watch game shows today, you are now assured that what you see is what you get. I mean, there is no hanky-panky. There is no planning. There is no arrangement. There is no way, because all of the networks, very carefully supervise their games. The fact that NBC elects to have a form offends some people, but it is true that game shows are militantly supervised by the networks, and for that, all of us in the game show business are really grateful, because we can
That
honestly
part's
say
all right.
it's true, it's straight, there's no cheating. Okay, we have a commercial
I
again.
have to leave because there's no cheating.
Well, in some regards. We talked right through that, so we'll go to a commercial, then we'll come back and play the $200 puzzle, okay? Don't go away.
And the best part is, right when they're going to break, George is just smoking that cigarette.
Just taking a drag, like, yeah, I said what I said.
I told Fred Silverman.
I said what I said.
And also, he did it just after his little rant. So that wasn't his first puff.
Oh, yeah. You could see the smoke. He was like puffing during the commercial break, probably.
Well, this was back when you were allowed to smoke during daytime television.
Oh, yeah, that was back in the day. Like, people didn't give a crap about smoking on television.
Some would argue that George Peppard didn't give a crap about it then.
That's why he always smoked those cigars on the A-Team, baby.
But yeah, suffice it to say, that episode never made it to air until at least May of 1999, and Gene Wood actually made a point to air a disclaimer during the Monday show that ultimately did air. And when I first heard that, because I grew up not having Game Show Network, I didn't have Game Show Network in my house until I went off to college. I didn't see Whammy until I graduated college and watched it on the regular.
Oh, I had to rely on my GSN through tape trading until at least when Cablevision got it here in this area in 2005.
Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't really have access to Game Show Network until like really late in '99/early 2000.
But yeah, George Peppard, you can tell he's annoyed, but you can also tell that he also doesn't give a crap. Perhaps, maybe, coincidentally, he wasn't asked to be on the show again.
Nope.
And actually, I wonder if he just got totally blacklisted by maybe not just Goodson-todman, but all game shows, because he never appeared on another show.
I guess he got tired of citing forms.
Well, or like I said, maybe certain production companies or networks may have said, no, you stirred the pot a little too much. I'm sure that Mark Goodson did not forget that, and in future endeavors, I'm thinking specifically Match Game Hollywood Squares Hour, since that aired right at like the A-Team's peak in 83, 84. They never asked him to be on that. They never put anybody from A-Team on that show. Not that it needed the assistance.
Oh, no. No, you did not need friggin' Dwight Schultz on a week of Match Game Hollywood Squares or Just Men.
It should be noted that Mr. T actually did appear on a week of Just Men. I think he actually appeared on the first week of Just Men, right before A-Team's debut.
You certainly didn't need Dirk Benedict to plug it.
No. I actually have more information from our friends at TV Tropes. They said, episode 111 of Plus, this episode, where George Peppard ranted about NBC standards and practices, which he thought were like a police mentality, never aired during the show's original run. Didn't help that one of the puzzles used suck and blow as clues. It wouldn't see the light of day until GSN in the mid-90s aired it. Goodson-todman banned Peppard from appearing in any of their shows for that incident, which cost them a lot, since they had to film an extra episode 2 weeks later to make up for the pulled episode. However, it's especially regrettable as the pulled episode contained a win in the alphabetics round right at the start of the show.
Man, how pissed must you be if you're the contestant? Your win doesn't even air because George Peppard decided, I'm going to tell on NBC.
I'm going to say the quiet part out loud. Well, look at it this way. At least George Peppard wasn't so bad that they skipped over his entire half episode. William Shatner in 2008.
So what do we have to say about this incident in 1979?
Well, I think Alan Ludden definitely got the last word in trying to justify why the network and the production companies do what they do. And I think that was sort of bold of him, standing up to George Peppard like that.
Yeah, and I love how Alan says, there's no hanky-panky. I love that choice of words. No hanky-panky.
Well, there wasn't. I mean, the game show scandals of the 50s took care of that.
Oh, yeah, definitely. And you know Mark Goodson, he wouldn't tolerate that crap for 1 second.
Nope. And if you look on Facebook, there are pictures of Alan Ludden just looking at George Peppard, wondering where he was going with things and when he was going to stop. And it is perhaps the wildest thing ever.
Oh yeah, Alan's gotta look like,
Like, oh god, this guy. As soon as that episode went to tape, he was quickly unpersoned by Goodson and Todman. And all of the rest of the major game show houses of the 70s and 80s soon followed. I don't remember seeing him on any Barry and Enright show. I don't remember seeing him on any Hader Quigley show. He couldn't get a booking on the $1,000 B even if he was alive to do so. I said what I said.
Well, Chico, at least this eventually did air, so maybe there's hope for the Batgirl movie.
Too soon, Greg.
Thanks a lot, Ezra Miller.
Too soon.
Thanks a lot, Ezra.
Seriously, HBO Max, how can you screw something up so royally? How?
Well, guys, in 1979, George Peppard gave NBC the business, and he gave us a memorable thing on TV. So that's going to do it for this minisode, and we'll see you with some more stuff down the pike. Wow!
I love it when a plan comes together.